buckle up for our episode with Caitlin Murray of Big Time Adulting right here on the Mom Curious podcast. My name is Daniella Rabbani and I am your happy and humble host. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll let you know a little bit about Caitlin before we dive in. She is a humorist, content creator, writer, podcaster, mother of 3, and wife of 1. She is the creator of Big Time Adulting. In 2016, Caitlin's oldest child was diagnosed with leukemia at age 3. Caitlin began sharing with family and friends about their journey and, specifically, her experience as a mother. Caitlin started her Instagram account in 2018 and has amassed over 1 million followers who appreciate her for her honest and humorous takes on motherhood. I really look forward to this conversation, and as always, you can find me at Daniella Rabbani on Instagram, so please do head on over there after the show. And in the meantime, I will ask you to do an act of kindness today in honor of my sister Ariana Rabbani Repaporte. It means a lot to me, and it'll make the world a kinder, better place if we all do this together. All right, enjoy the episode. I really do appreciate you taking the time with me. You're
I'm
awesome.
happy to. I also like being on podcasts because it's nice to have conversations with people outside of the home when you work from home,
Yes.
and it gets your juices flowing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's sometimes it's also inspires new content and you know trains of thought, that kind of thing. So I enjoy it a lot.
What are you busy with these days with
Well, I
back
have
to
a book
school?
deadline on November 3rd, so I'm
Hey!
very busy with that for the first and foremost, but it's really hard to just, keep up with it all because I'm trying to create a lot of content in between, stints of writing as well as, brand work that I have going on, and I'm the primary caregiver of my 3 kids.
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm just and this time of year is, exceptionally busy as you know. So it's just a lot. It's a lot going on for me right now, but it's all good stuff. I like to try to sometimes differentiate between good stress and bad stress. This is sort of more the good stress. Nothing bad is happening to cause me the
Stress.
stress
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
I'm so glad. I was going to ask if you were going to write a book because all of your writing really is so good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is what I don't want to give away. Is this do you want to start the interview and do you have questions like this that I don't want to have to say it twice for you, but so you
I
don't have to hear it twice,
Oh,
but
we could this could be our interview. We could just chat and
oh, sure,
keep
I'm
it
fine with
casual.
that. However you usually run this show, I'm all good.
I usually
Um,
I usually let I usually do a deep dive of research on you. I know so much about you, Caitlin,
you do?
but not
Okay.
enough. And that's the fun part.
Mm.
And then I let the conversation go wherever it goes. But I actually did not know anything about your book or the fact that you write all of your content beforehand and the
Yeah.
writing is so good. It's so funny.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. I just made a funny, a reel yesterday about waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't always have trouble sleeping, but when I do have trouble sleeping, when I wake up at 3 a.m. inadvertently, is also often when I come up with a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
So, I start by writing those ideas down in my phone in my notes app, and then I'll be like, "Was that a dream? Was that a stupid fucking idea? Or was that something I can build on?" And then I'll go back to it and develop it if it feels like if I'm inspired by it. But it's usually something that happened during the day. And then I wake up and think about it. I'm like, that could be funny.
It
And
always is. You know what I
oh,
noticed is a lot of your content, it'll have as many likes as it does shares. And I'm like, if that's not a flex, I don't know what is. The people feel funny having shared the funny. It's like a contact high.
that's actually the secret of it's not a secret, that's actually, the key to growing your audience is, the more shareable your content is, the more you will grow because that is how new people find you when you send it to your friend, and they're
Mm.
like, "Oh, who's that chick? Oh, I like that," or, "I'm gonna follow that person."
Can we
So
rewind
that's
back to how you grew your audience, how this happened? I was sure you started as a comedian. I was
No.
actually positive. And we have friends in common. You did a it was a web series, I think, with my friend Dave. with Stacey Gallo, who was the
Yes. Yeah, David Dude.
David
Yeah.
Duke, funny guy.
Yeah, very funny
Actual
guy.
comedian. His brother's a comedian. So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
and Stacey Gallo has been, I've known her as a casting director forever. So what,
Yes.
like I saw you on that set and I was like, well, yeah, of course, she's an actress. She's an actress who had 3 kids, and so now she's going back to acting. And then lo and behold, I did my deep dive on you, and you were in nonprofit
Yeah.
fundraising. Is that
Correcto. Yeah,
nice?
correctamundo. Stacey Gallo is great. She found me on Instagram and
Yes.
she was just like, I like this vibe or whatever, and reached out and asked if I would ever be interested in doing, this web series that she had thought of. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. Why not? I've never done that before. And I love like being, I don't know, theatrical or whatever it is. Like I like entertaining. So that's fun. And that's I think obviously what like drove me. It was always sort of inside me, but not part of my background. Yeah. I
Like
worked in the nonprofit.
not even as a
N-
child?
I mean, like I did like in high school, joined like I did the musical and
Okay.
I did some like improv groups and stuff like that. But I never went
Into it, like,
very far with any of it. But this is like a newfound whole like second phase of life for me that I didn't know was coming, but is something that I always like felt passionately about or felt like I had the creative energy to expend on like writing and that kind of thing. The reason why I started my page is because I had wanted to write a book. So
Mm.
that was the whole sort of motivation behind gaining an audience because I had had some conversations. I had been writing in a blog about my son who was sick with leukemia for a little over 3 years. And it was just something that I was sending out to family and friends and like anecdotal stories about my experience as a mother throughout all of this. And there was humor in it and sadness in it and all of the things. And that experience for me, just the writing itself was very therapeutic, very cathartic. And I was like, I'd really think I would like to expand on this and put more time into it. And that's when I had some conversations with people in like the book world and realized how beneficial it is to be able to get a book deal via having a platform and audience. So I started out just in hopes of that. And so now I am writing the book, which is awesome. But it's funny, like along the way, once I gained a following, I was like probably pretty soon could have had an opportunity to write a book, but then I was like, I think I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to just like keep
Mm.
creating content and see where this kind of all takes me. It's opened so many doors. It's been really cool new phase of my life.
It's amazing. Can we go back to that time when you did start your blog when your first son was diagnosed with leukemia, and you had a 1-year-old at the time? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he had just turned 3 years old. They're both born in November, my 2 oldest kids. I have 3 altogether. So my oldest was 3 and my middle was 1. And it was like the day after Christmas of that year that we ended up in the hospital with him. But there had been ongoing health concerns from, especially from my husband and I, for a few weeks. And I had taken him to the doctor and sort of been dismissed by the doctor, like, oh, it's cold and flu season. This is probably just another virus on top of a virus. It's just he's having like an extended recovery period because he's gotten sick again or whatever. And just in my heart, I was like, this is not a normal fucking virus. Like
Mm.
he is sick. He was not himself for too long. And then he started getting uh, a fever and that just didn't go away. And that was like over a week of fevers. When there's over a week of fevers going on, there's something else happening. Like it's not cancer. So don't panic if you're listening to this and your kids had a fever for a week. It's probably, I don't know,
Something
some other
else.
kind of infection going on or something. But
Yeah, you two
um
mentioned that even in your own podcast when you have this, when you tell us about it. Yeah, that people often ask this because they want to know as mothers, but
yeah.
you always
Yeah.
do mention that for the most part it's not cancer. But you knew, you said that you Googled it, even you sort of had a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I joke about myself being an internet doctor quite a bit. Um, but I did, and it honestly, like, even that, it could have still been something else or
Yeah.
anything, but there were so many things that were going on with him at that time that looked alarming to me. And I don't even like to run through all of the symptoms because I know there are health anxious people out there because I'm one of them, and you listen to somebody else's symptoms and you're like, that's it. But I know at this point many children who have had leukemia because of our experience and other types of cancer, and everybody presents differently. And it is not only like these certain things that happen, and some things could happen and some things could never happen. So it's not like just go to the doctor is the fucking point. It's just like don't
And trust
if you
yourself.
have a feeling about what's going on with your child and it is not right and not sitting with you, get answers and be your kid's advocate, but, don't panic. It's probably not cancer.
Yeah, I mean, I think this ties into a lot of your messaging, which is trust yourself, stop taking advice from people on the internet, like myself included, which is also why we trust you, honestly, you know? And actually, I noticed that your bio, it doesn't say on Instagram where most people find you. Although, are you on TikTok also?
I am, but I'm like,
Not as active.
I
Yeah.
never really go over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like your second home, like, or
Yeah.
like third, or whatever. But your bio on Instagram, where most of us interact with you, is mother of a cancer survivor, and actually, he's thriving. This happened, I guess,
Years
years
ago.
ago
Yeah,
now, but
because
this is still a huge part of your identity. Your identity.
it is a huge part of my identity as a mother because it was just when that all went down, first of all, I learned to really like trust my inner compass of what I feel is going on with my kids and that I have a better pulse on the overall health of them than anyone else because we are just like we live, breathe, and die by kind of like examine. I do. Like I just examine my kids constantly. And I'm not like an overbearing, crazy mother who does everything like perfectly whatsoever. I'm in tune with that part of my kids. I'd like to think. And if I ever question, like, I don't know what's going on, I always get them to the doctor. But yeah, that gave me like a lot of conviction as a parent, as a mom in a world where I think women especially like second guess themselves and second guess like making too much of a stink about anything or raising alarms about stuff and they don't want to be seen as alarmist or overreactive or dramatic and that kind of thing. And it was just, I was like, I fucking knew it. And I'm so glad that I spoke up for him. And then, in the same sense, like I was really in the trenches for so long throughout that period of our lives from the time he was just turned 3 until like the time he was almost 3.5. I mean, 6, I'm sorry, 6.5. He was in treatment. So he was undergoing treatment for longer than he had been alive by the time he
Turned six and a
finished or
half.
like
Yeah.
at the
Yep.
time that he started. I'm sorry.
I
So it
was
was a
doing the math
really
with you. I'm with you. I got you.
yeah. It was a really long time and I was, we were home like very careful about germs, exposures, things like that. It was almost like COVID pandemic part 1 for us in a
Yeah.
way. And then I think during that time, knowing that how much I was sort of going through and taking on as a young mom, I was like, I can say whatever the fuck I want about my experience as a mother. I know that I'm a good mom.
Mm.
And
So many people don't know that about themselves.
we always just like question if we're doing things right or if we're messing them up or whatever, but I've also just come to like accept the fact that everybody is messed up. And so as long as you're sort of staying true to yourself and being a good person and being consistent and showing love and apologizing when you need to, like doing that repair work when you lose your shit, because
Because
we
you
all
will.
lose our shit,
Yeah.
uh,
And like
that
offering them great snacks.
and snacks.
This is a
Yeah.
huge part of motherhood.
It's a massive part of motherhood that's often overlooked.
The snacking.
Yeah.
So important. For the most part, they'll
Um,
they'll turn out okay, and so will we. I think that's like, I think one of the things I value so much about your message and presence on the interwebs and in this space is that you offer so much confidence, like from your own experience. You're like, I know I've been in the trenches. I'm allowed to say it. And if I'm allowed to say it, you're allowed to like it. You're allowed to share it. Maybe you can say it too, that
Yeah.
I'm good enough. Like I'm actually just good enough. I don't have to be the best, and I don't have to do the exact script of the gentle parenting or whatever it is. Like,
No.
please don't.
Yeah, I always feel like that, one of the things that I like a phrase that I lean back on or whatever, a value that I hold true is that you are the best mom for your kids, not anybody else, not somebody on the internet that does things differently than you or any of that crap. Not the doctor, not the teacher, not your best friend, not your mother, mother-in-law. You are the best mom for your kids. You're the one who knows them the
Mm,
most.
mm. Can I ask about your bravery to have a third child in the midst of all that?
Yeah.
Like you had a baby, a
I
child,
did.
an amazing child who's thriving now, who was undergoing chemotherapy for, like,
Yep.
and then you were like, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna go get knocked up. I don't have enough on my
Yeah.
plate.
Yeah,
How and why?
it was a very, scrutinized
Oh,
decision
was it?
between my husband and I
Okay.
that we, like, had always wanted 3 kids. And, my oldest, Callum, who was the one that had the leukemia, he was 2 years into his a little more than 3-year treatment when we kind of decided that if we were gonna do this, like, now is the time. Well, for me, I was like, if I get too far out of the baby and toddler phase with my older kids, I'm afraid I'll never, like, wanna go back. Like, life is gonna start to get easier, and I don't wanna, like, restart the clock on this or whatever. And I was like, listen, this next year, I was confident that his treatment was going to be successful
Mm,
and that we sort of, knew what the path was laid out for us, barring any, like, very rare, unexpected turns, that we could safely say we would just be able to go through this process, hopefully have a baby, like, you never know, it's a roll of the dice, and then by the time the baby was born, we'd have, like, 1 more year left of treatment and be sort of able to be done with, like, this really hard phase of life in
mm,
general.
mm.
But yeah, it was a tough decision, and the transition to a 3rd child was backbreaking for me. It was hard, but I would do it 1,000,000 times over because it was just like I'll also often say that Luke, my 3rd child, is, like, my life's greatest accomplishment. I feel
Really?
very complete, like, from having that 3rd child. I think I would have always wondered if we didn't go for it and always held some regret of not seeing what would happen, and I'm so happy that he's here.
I'm so happy that he's here too. It's so cute when you like refer to him as Lukey. He's actually
Yeah.
the only one that I before doing my work, my work and like scrolling all the way down to your first episode of your podcast, I didn't know Callum's name. I still don't know your daughter's name. And
Yeah,
but
it's
Lukey,
Faye.
Faye, love it.
Yeah.
Um, but Lukey, you mentioned, I guess
Yeah,
because
I
he's
just, like I refer to my oldest, my Callum is, my oldest, and my middle is my daughter, and
right,
then Lukey is Lukey,
right.
like
And then we know that he's the
yeah,
baby because he's not Luke, he's
he's
Lukey.
Lukey, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned in I do think if anyone wants to learn more about Caitlin after this, you can go to her podcast, by the way, and hear like a longer version of this story. It's like the first episode of the podcast, and it's really beautifully done. But you mentioned that Faye was really a huge part of Callum's recovery. Also during that time, that the sibling connection, that having a third child, that like it seems, of course it was stressful, backbreaking, like crazy, but also healing and special. And I'm wondering if you want to just talk a little bit about that, like sibling bond and like
Yeah,
having
I mean,
3 kids.
in our case specifically at that time, like Callum wasn't able to go and play with other kids his age who had been out and about at different activities, who might have been like, carrying viruses and germs that would have been potentially very dangerous to his system when he was super vulnerable on chemo. And his sister, we were obviously not going to like limit their contact, but she didn't go anywhere either. We kept her home from pretty much everything as well. I mean, she was little, so it didn't really matter, but she would have had like a more active social
Mhm.
lifestyle when she was a toddler if her brother hadn't been a cancer patient. But during that time, she was really his like ride or die number one amigo, and she's the kind of kid who would kids are amazing because they don't understand the gravity of what's going on in those situations, so they really don't let you wallow in it for too long. You can't.
Yes.
They're gonna keep going and doing and fucking shit up around the house and wanting to make a mess and all the stuff, so you could sit in the corner and cry for a minute, but then you better get off your ass and go make sure everybody's still alive, and be involved in the parenting. And
I'm
ca
dealing with that also in my own life, in our family. We had a tragedy recently, and kids are still kids. Like they still like
oh, I'm so
wake.
sorry. What
Thank you.
happened?
Oh, my sister passed away.
Oh my
I know she
god.
has 2 little girls and they're the best, and like but they'll play, It's like they're little. They're 6 and 7, so it's amazing to see children, sometimes they do understand. They miss their mother
Mm.
terribly. My children miss their aunt terribly, but they
How old
also
are her kids?
6 and 7. My kids are
Mm.
6 and 8, so they're all like one grade, from kindergarten to 3rd grade. But they'll play, like even in the midst of it
Deep
all,
sadness.
deep, deep, deep sadness. Like they require you to just keep going.
Mhm.
They really do.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, thanks. I really do appreciate it so much.
Did
There you
you
go.
already talk about this all on your podcast on a different episode or anything, or is this like
No,
the
I
first time your audience is hearing it?
they heard it just because I mentioned it at the beginning because my sister was just so kind, and so I've been asking people to do an act of kindness in her name. Her name is Ariana Rabbani Rappaporte. And so I just
Mm.
ask, hey, today if you do something really nice, do it in her honor.
It's like just part of the overall, like, life is so precious and fragile, and things can really turn on a dime. And kids are amazing and resilient, but like you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. And like that whole concept of trying to live in the moment, something that I've like struggled with so much, especially from like anxiety over health related issues and that kind of thing, which really I think I always had, but like heightened after my son got sick. And just the work that it takes to try to really be here today.
Oh,
Um, Despite like whether or not you're having a good day or a bad day, it doesn't mean you always have to be like looking on the bright side or having a great day, but just like to be here and
mm,
like think and be present and appreciate something
mm.
every day because you just like you never know. That's so sad, and I'm so terribly sorry.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's I the veil between life and death for me, because it just happened so recently and because we were
Mm,
so close and she's such a good person, really doesn't make sense. You talk about on that first episode of your podcast about how you were in the children's hospital and it was clear one day that a child had just died. It's
mhm,
like it's really mind-boggling. Like I never really understood what that meant. It's like to boggle the mind, like this really disorienting feeling of like no one deserves that. Like why do bad things happen like that? And there's still beauty in the world. That to me has been a huge sort of learning that it's possible to be so horrified by the injustice just of like existence. Like I'm
Mhm.
not even talking about people being cruel to one another, actually.
Yeah.
And for there to be real beauty nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very disarming. Like death is something that that happens to everybody, and we are all very aware of that, but it I think mentally or whatever we're able to compartmentalize it until it is right in front of your face. Like and then the finality of it whacks you like a ton of bricks like holy shit, this is a real thing. And that pain is gonna be so real or is really real for people experiencing it in the moment, and it brings you like
All the way to your knees. All the way
yeah,
to your knees. I mean, the real, and I really mean that. Like when we buried my sister Ariana, I was like literally on the ground screaming, "No, no, no!" As if like I
yeah,
don't agree. I just totally, I do not, I do not consent to this. I'm not okay with this. And the powerlessness of that experience is something that I really didn't. I didn't actually know about, that like, like we can do so much in this world and there's a limit.
yeah. Well,
There,
that's like the whole like back to the moment because we truly are living in a world with zero control over what happens, especially when it comes to the most important things in your life. Like you just can't control the future, and it is can the idea of not having control over those types of things in your life can feel debilitating at
mm,
times. And I'm not trying to compare like your sister's death to my experience because my son is still here, thank
until
God. And
120. Yeah.
I'll never say like silver linings to horrible things happening like that. That's not the word that I would choose, but for lack of a better, I guess, like a positive thing that sometimes comes from tragedy and sadness like that is you do look at the world through a lens of empathy and a grace that you give to people and to yourself that may not have existed if you didn't go through that really hard thing.
Yeah. That, and also like my willingness to, I guess similar to how you started this blog where you're like, I'm not willing to engage in bullshit. I'm not willing to engage in bullshit. I'm not willing to fight. I don't have anything in me to fight, especially if it's like silly.
When you're forced to like go a little deeper in yourself, one of life's truest challenges, like having a sick child or losing a precious person in your life,
Yeah.
the other stuff that might seem to be a big deal to people in certain moments, like politics and arguments over world events. Not that they're not important, but the way that you can see like the rage and the infiltration of like bad feelings coming over people incited by that kind of thing. It's just not worth it.
It's
We
like
get
not an
one
option.
life.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, where do you wanna use your energy? How do you wanna use your energy with your one chance?
Mm. It's interesting. I wasn't planning on opening up. And of course, you're such a special person that I did. And I'm shocked that I'm not crying, but I guess, I don't know. I don't know.
I've cried a few times if it makes you feel
Oh, okay,
better.
great. I'm good. I'm glad. She's worth shedding a tear over. What a special, special human being. But I guess that the conversation around my sister started because I asked you about the special bond between siblings.
Yeah, yeah. Back to that, yeah, and it is a beautiful thing, and I know that I, like, totally also understand people who have 1 kid and they're like, "That was enough, like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna end it there," right?
Yes, yes.
Um,
But I'll
or
say I like we were talking about, like, do you have a sibling?
I have a 1 brother,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, it really is special.
Yes, it is. And um, on a like cellular level, they are the closest genetic living thing on earth to you that you have. So it's a pretty cool bond to share with another person in this world. It's crazy though. Like I mean, my kids play really nicely together for the most part. Obviously, like they fight and wrestle and drive me bonkers also every day. But I see a lot like in the future, like adults in my life of my older generations and that kind of thing, and siblings that like have falling out or fall out with each other, and I feel so saddened by
Me
that.
too, yeah.
And
I see why like the parents, and I see those parents like with gray hair and wrinkles, and they're so pained by it. And like now that I'm a parent of a little boy and a little girl, and they love each other, I can't imagine what it would be like if and I know that siblings will always, they'll always fight, like, you know,
yes,
they have to. That's their job, you know?
yes,
It
yeah,
would be heartbreaking for me if they didn't have a loving relationship.
yeah. It's like one of my life's biggest wishes, that my kids like grow up together and continue to be lifelong friends with each other.
How do you foster that?
I don't know. I mean, like, we never know if we're doing things the right way or whatever. I think a big part of it might have to do with the way that feelings are discussed and conflicts are resolved within your house in general. Like, if there's blaming or stuffing down of feelings, or maybe if one child is overly celebrated versus another
Mm.
child or something, building resentment between them. I don't know. I don't know what actually ends up causing it. If I'm not sure. I'm just trying to like we talk a lot about loving each other.
And creating memories together, right? Like I feel like if you have like something fun that happens or a place that you went to together, that's got to
Mhm.
feel good looking back on, like you want to like hang out with that person more. If you like
Yeah.
if there's like a printed picture of you guys at Disneyland and it was a good time. Like
Yeah.
that's a real
When
thing. I see that
Yeah, you kind of
with
have to, like,
friends, right?
foster it for them in a way, like, don't forget, this is, like, your family, this is your brother, this is your sister, you always stick up for each other, you're always there for each other, you
Mm.
always love each other,
Mm.
don't let your ego get in the way of family, of the importance of family. Um,
Can we talk about your family of origin? You're from Boston, right?
I am, yeah.
How's it going
So
in New York? Do you still root for like Boston teams?
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I do
yeah.
yeah, I'm a lifelong Red Sox fan,
Okay, and I respect that, and
and
that's fine.
yeah, I will never, like, change teams, but I can't watch the games here. They don't have Red Sox games
On
and Patriots
purpose. We
games
would
on
never.
and stuff.
That
Yeah,
would
they
be
couldn't.
treason.
They don't.
You have to pay
But
extra for that.
I will say I do root for the Giants when they're playing other teams, that other than the Patriots, because my husband is a diehard Giants fan, and I've been to a lot of Giants games and
He's a New
stuff, so
Yorker, right?
he's a New Yorker, yeah,
Okay.
that's how I ended up here.
So, okay, so
Um,
you grew up in Boston with one sibling.
yep, yep, not in Boston proper, but, in Massachusetts,
Oh,
south
okay.
of Boston, and my husband and I met in college. My parents are divorced, so my mom lives in Plymouth and my dad lives in Easton, and my brother lives really close to where my dad is, but everybody's like close. My whole family is still in Massachusetts. I have a very large extended family, so lots of aunts and uncles and cousins, very large family, and my husband also has a ginormous family. So, and they're all in this area, and I love them. So, yeah, it's great. I mean, there's nothing more important than family. My mom is coming to New York today we're going to the Steve Winwood concert tonight together.
Yes. Are you close with your
Yes.
mom?
Yes, very. I'm very close with both of my
I
parents.
love that. I love the
Mhm.
way you speak about your marriage and how important it is that you don't trash talk your husband.
Yeah,
Do you know how rare that is on the internet?
yeah, I do see a lot of that, going on the internet. I mean, I think that
I mean,
Uh,
it's a lot. It's like a long-standing joke, like marital tit for
yeah.
tats, you know.
Yeah,
And
it's
since
like
you do
tale as old as
comedy,
time,
yeah, and
right?
it
Like
is funny.
people
It's funny, but I noticed that you like steer away from that type of humor. I appreciate it. I think it's really sweet.
I have a very, very deep respect for my husband, and there is nothing more important in the world to me than our marriage and our relationship as an extension of like the pillar of what our family is. So I think both of us coming from marriages, parents whose marriages dissolved, we were really careful in choosing and waiting for the right time to choose each other, that kind of thing. We dated for a really long time. We were best friends from college, turned to lovers. And anyway, yeah, he's still my best friend and he's an awesome person.
Mm.
So I love and respect him deeply. But that's not to say that our marriage and our life is without struggle or disagreement or conflict ever. It's just there's just too much importance of us there. And I think it can be a slippery slope, like, the little bit of joking that could potentially turn into a borderline insult to that person. And listen, like, I'm a very modern woman,
You
but
sure
like
are.
my husband's a baller for like having zero qualms about me being the person that I am on the internet, being very out there. A lot of men I think would have a hard time with all
I've
of
seen you shake
my
your booty.
personality.
Yeah, you do some booty shakes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that stuff too.
so
Yeah, I
good.
mean,
Such good
yeah.
booty shakes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I just value that so much. And I also noticed that you don't share like your children's image. I mean, I guess their names. Although I just found out that your daughter's name is Faye. I thought her name was my daughter. Um,
This is my daughter, my daughter. Um, yeah, I try to keep them out of it. Like, I really want the, premise of what people get when they come to my page to be about me and my experiences and thoughts as a mother, not about I mean, it's hard because I draw from their lives all the time, but I try very hard not to talk about them specifically. It's a general sentiment for the most part when I'm talking about my kids, and I don't like to show them on the internet just for their protection.
yeah, I think that's really sound and smart and respectful. Actually, I think it's respectful of you. The first question I asked you before we started was what your favorite snack was, and you did say that it was something interesting, but then we cut out and I didn't hear it. So I have to ask again.
My favorite snack is not like consistent.
Oh,
I bounce around. I mean, like if I had to choose a snack that I would consistently eat or take on the go with me, it'd probably be popcorn.
oh,
But that's
interesting.
also like I love what you can do with popcorn. You can flavor it. You can, make it
Caramel
sweet. You
popcorn
can
is
make it
so good.
savory.
You put like that ranch salt from Trader Joe's on popcorn. Very
Oh, yeah.
interesting. Very good. Put
Yeah.
cheese on it.
Yes, anything,
There's really
really. It
nothing, but it
adapts
doesn't fill you
well.
up. That's the thing about popcorn. It
Yeah, it
crunches, and I love that about popcorn.
yeah,
But
the
it doesn't.
crunchiness.
Yes, but it
Yeah.
doesn't fill you up.
Yeah, I find in the moment, it scratches an itch for me.
Yeah, like
And
literally.
yes, yeah, and so then I'm like and it's also like, it's not doing like, I'm not eating a brownie for my snack, so it's like I'm not doing damage
Right. Yeah.
necessarily.
You're being
Uh,
responsible.
yeah, so
You're
popcorn's like
adulting.
but honestly I love all kinds of snacks, but I try to be, like, mindful of what I do with my snack times.
Mm.
So I'll often, like, make myself snacks when I'm home. I'm not on the go as much as I'm home. I eat at home 90% of the
So when
time,
you
so
get yourself a snack, what you're saying is you prepare yourself a snack.
I prepare myself a snack.
Oh, it's not as catchy, so I understand. As a writer, get yourself a snack. Just, you know,
Yeah.
lands
Yeah.
a little quicker. But you
Yeah.
prepare yourself a snack like hummus and carrots.
Something like that, or like some yogurt parfait,
Oh, you're like into
yogurt and
healthy eating. That's good. That's so
yeah,
nice.
I try to be, I'm getting older,
Okay,
but
speaking of which, before we wrap up,
yeah.
can you give us a heads up on menopause, perimenopause? Because
Yeah,
you've been
so
chatting a lot about that on the internet too. Giving
yeah, a
us a
lot
heads
of
up.
my content has shifted towards that like womanhood direction because I'm getting to such a nice phase with my kids. They're like almost 12, almost 10, and 6.5, whatever. So their independence is directly correlated to my independence and autonomy, and it's a lovely thing. And they're just like getting so funny and fun to hang out with, and it's cool. I love this phase. I'm also now 43 and fully in the throes of perimenopause. My mom told me she went through menopause at 43, so I could be
Done.
I mean, soon. I don't know. I'm not. I'm definitely still having a menstrual cycle. But what I've found as I've gotten older is the symptoms are like specifically in the second half of my cycle, the whole entire luteal phase, which is the correct scientific terminology for that. I
She's a
feel
scientist.
off. I feel like I feel more angry, rageful, irritable, anxious, down, emotional, all of those feelings that really never bothered me before when I was younger are really intense for me now.
Mm.
So my like perimenopause symptoms are largely to do with that. But yes, I am taking hormone replacement therapy. I've been taking progesterone for the mood stuff.
You
The
have such a great
standard
mood. You seem to be such like so.
usually I am, but then the
But then the
second part
hormones.
of my it's and it almost feels like it's half of the month at this point because my cycles are shortened now too, like they're closer together. So it's like a lot of time to not be feeling like yourself, you
Yeah,
know?
the hits keep
Um
coming. Like what?
I mean, I would just say what I
Womanhood.
won't
Womanhood.
I
Life.
could go on about this for the entire episode, but if you are not feeling yourself or if you are experiencing like heightened symptoms of perimenopause, menopause, look them up. There's a zillion of them. It's a whole rainbow of things that could be happening to you. Talk to a female healthcare specialist.
About hormone replacement. I think that it.
About anything, like, there
Oh,
are also supplements, like, if you're not ready for hormone replacement therapy, you could try some supplements and different vitamins and things like that to help with symptoms, but, yeah, if you do your research, hormone replacement therapy is both very safe and very effective now, and also preventative for after menopause when women experience a lot of things like osteoporosis, joint pain, heart disease, that kind of thing. So it's actually I don't think I needed the estrogen
mhm.
as much as the progesterone, but I'm back to taking it now because I feel as though it's important for my longevity, for my long-term health.
I wish I actually knew more so that I could like follow up on great questions, but I'm 41, so I'm only 2 years younger than you, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
was fully feeling this stuff when I was 41 and I just started it all like this year too. So
Oh,
it's different for everybody.
yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad that like someone is speaking to give us all a heads up because that was not the case. I think Halle Berry came out with a book all about it, actually.
Yeah, recently, right?
Yeah, pretty recently. But
Mhm.
I think up until, I don't know, there has
Pretty
been
recent.
like a year or two, or maybe it's just my age. People have not been talking about this.
No, I agree.
We
It's
were
it's a
embarrassed,
pretty
right? Because like the female body is something to be embarrassed about, unfortunately.
yeah, it was, I think,
That was
like
irony. That was sarcasm, just in case anyone was.
yeah, I caught it.
Oh, thank
I
you.
picked up what you were putting down
Thank
right
you so
there.
much. Okay.
Picked it up
Our,
hard.
our beautiful
I
engineer was like, got you, we got you.
yeah, there's a boatload of information about it, but there was a women's health study done, women's health initiative in like the early 2000s where it was a bad study, and pretty much the results of it came back freaking everybody out about hormone replacement therapy. And since that study, they have revisited a lot of the research, performed new studies, and also changed like the makeup of the hormones that they give you now. They're bioidentical hormones rather than synthetic. And a lot of people don't even realize like the estrogen patch that you slap on there when you're in perimenopause has less hormones in it than the birth control pill. Like
Wow.
it's not unsafe. But yeah, you have to talk to your doctor, or if you have certain risk factors, like if you are, have a history of breast cancer, that kind of stuff. Like you gotta be careful in some situations. But I think for the vast majority of people, it is a helpful and effective way to treat the symptoms of perimenopause and menopause.
Which can be like really uncomfortable, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I said, the mood thing, the mental stuff, and for a lot of other people, it's completely not being able to sleep at night. Plummet of libido, um, weight gain, uh, brain fog, frozen
Sweating,
shoulder, joint pain. Sorry, what was sweating,
sweat,
night sweats,
hot
like hot
flashes.
flashes. Obviously, that's like one of the classic
What my
menopause symptoms.
my friend talked about like losing collagen in her face, like her face just like falling.
Yeah.
That's how she felt. She looks great, just for the record. But
But that's what
to
happens,
her,
like,
yeah,
that's
to
why we
her,
get
oh, the jowls.
mm, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, but maybe the hormone replacement can help, and you give us a heads up on, or maybe someone's listening and they're right in it. Go for it,
Yeah,
guys. Call
I
your
actually
doctor.
started using an estrogen cream that goes on the face.
Oh,
Yeah, so we'll see. I haven't been using it, I don't think, long enough to really tell whether or not it's helping, but I'm willing to try anything.
you look
I'm
great.
also doing, like, the natural aging thing here, so I've
Mm.
never had Botox or anything,
How
so
come?
I know. It's harder. The older
You
I
live in
get, the harder it
Westchester.
is. Sorry,
You
what?
live in Westchester.
I
Westchester.
know. Everybody I know
You're
does
the only
it
one
pretty
with a
much.
regular face. You're like the only neighbor on the block with a face of your own. I'm
Yeah.
just assuming.
Well, actually, no, you know what? Some of the women that are like maybe like 50, like the 50-year-old women and like a little bit more, I noticed a lot of them have a natural face, and it's more like my demographic, my age category, who are using Botox and fillers and stuff. And by the way, for the most part, I think that they look really good.
Yeah.
Some people overdo it and change their face too much with the fillers and stuff, but most of it is like a pretty natural look. It's just that I have certain feelings about the pressure on women to look a certain age for their entire lives and to maintain a certain standard of youth and beauty, and I think it's very unfair. And I'm trying to go the natural way. I don't have problem with wrinkles so much though, it's the sagging that bothers me more.
Mm, mm.
But what am I afraid of? Like, am I afraid of being 43, or am I afraid of dying eventually? Like, what am I resisting with uh changing my face around or whatever, delaying the aging process? It's not a bad thing. It's just why? Who am I doing it for? Am I doing it to compete with other women and look as good as they do in the face, that kind of thing? So I'm just examining. I'm doing a lot of examining around the
Soul
reason
searching?
behind it for me. And I don't give a shit what anyone else does. I think, like I said, most everybody I know gets Botox or whatever, and people look good with it for the most part. I don't see a lot of women after a certain age that maintain a very good or natural look, trying to keep it up.
Mm.
It starts to look pretty wonky after a certain age.
Yeah,
Um,
when you can't like make facial expressions for sure. I really ask only because I'm curious, and I really do appreciate you barely ever put on makeup when you do your reels. And first of all, it makes it gives us the sense that like, oh, like we're just like in on this day with you. And like, why would you put on makeup? But also, I think you have a large audience, and you have and I think you're using it with responsibility, where you're like, this is my face. and these are my thoughts. And that's actually quite powerful.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, never say never. You never know if I'm gonna like one day be like, fuck it, I can't stand this saggy skin anymore. I'm getting a facelift.
Yeah. The idea of like sewing my face. Anyway, I
I
don't
think that's what everyone's doing these days, by the way, though. Now,
facelifts.
if you kind of notice, I feel like in Hollywood, like you'll see more wrinkles, but skin that looks kind of more taut and not saggy. And it's like it's a natural look, but with tightness. And I'm like,
Ricky Lake.
that's what's happening. That's what
we're doing now. Ricky Lake did that.
Did she? Yeah, she
I
probably
watched
looks
Ricky
great.
Lake every single day of my childhood.
I watched a shitload of Ricky Lake too.
Jenny Jones.
Yes, I forgot about
Why
that
would my
one.
mother let me do that? God bless my mother. I love her so much.
They were not paying attention.
They
were
were
not
doing
no.
they were putting food on the table and clothes on my
Yeah.
back, and I was just going hard on Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, Maury Povich, Jerry Springer.
Oh my God.
And then we
You
wonder,
are not the father.
yeah, you're not the father. Oh, it was so good. Okay, but Ricky Lake had a facelift recently, and she looks
amazeballs.
gorge. Literally gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And she like has her gray hair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got to do what's good for them. And you never know. You just never know.
You never know. Yeah, I'm not saying never. I'm just saying for now I'm going to just sit with aging and be okay with it.
I appreciate that. I got some Botox. Let's see how long it lasts.
How long does it last?
I go for like every 6 months, mostly because I want to be a person who will age. I was going to say age gracefully, but I think aging gracefully now means like getting like light touches. But like I want wrinkles and I want gray hair and I want to grow old. But you want to just
put it into the future a bit. Like you don't want to do it too early.
I guess. I don't know. We were talking about my sister, and it's like I want to grow old. I want to live, and I think like you were talking about like, well, am I just like afraid of looking like I'll die one day? Because I will. We will die one day. Like we were born and we will die. Those are like for sures. But and I want to be old. And I like there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I feel very grateful to age, to live another day. Yeah.
It's a massive, it's such a deeper conversation. Sometimes it's like, what's the difference between using Botox or getting cosmetic work done on your face and makeup or hair dye for that matter? Like at the heart of it, is there a difference? Like
probably
you're
not.
altering the way that you look to make yourself look better, younger, whatever it is. So,
or to express yourself.
It's just like,
or to express yourself. Like I like glue eyelashes to my face half the time.
Yeah.
And they stay on for like 2 weeks. Like I like it. It makes me look fun and awake and like I'm not hurting anyone. Anyway, we have choices.
By the way, when I do wear makeup when I go to do something.
I know, I've seen you live. You looked beautiful at Neha's book launch. I've seen. Yeah, I know you wear makeup.
So but my point was going to be like, I like the way that I look more when I have makeup on and that kind of thing. Like I'm like, oh, I feel my best, So I'm not like above cosmetics or like any interventions.
You're better than the rest of us? Is that what we're getting at? Which I'm
a little bit better.
Just a touch. Speaking of which, we are wrapping up, but I want everyone to know that Violet Archer is out, which is it's not an audiobook. Tell me what it is.
It's like a video book. It's almost like a graphic novel on screen with words, with video.
So cool. You executive produced it and you voice Violet Archer, our heroine.
Yes.
And it's for kids. What age?
I would say like 4 to 9.
Bless. Love that.
4 to 10 even. Yeah.
Love that. You do have a book coming out. When is it coming out?
Not till next year. So,
Okay, we're hanging on with bated breath. I'm so
yeah.
excited about
Thank
it.
you.
They can check out your podcast. These are evergreen conversations.
They are, yeah, for the most part.
They are still there. I'll tell you, based on my research, they're still interesting. So we'll link that there, here, meaning down here in the show notes. And people can follow you at Big Time Adulting. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Except
I think that covers it.
we did it. I really want to
Yeah.
thank you for holding space for me and for my beautiful sister Ariana. Thank you,
I'm
thank you,
so
thank you,
sorry. Yeah. Glad we got to share.
thank you. Thanks for listening, and thank you, friends, for listening. We'll see you next week on the Mom Curious podcast. All right, that was our conversation with Caitlin Murray at Big Time Adulting on Instagram, where you'll find all of her humorous and really poignant takes. Please do keep in touch with us. I'm at Daniella Rabbani, Daniella Rabbani on Instagram, as well as Mom Curious on Instagram. We're just getting started over there, so it'd be really cool if you would hang out with us. Do leave us a review, rate, share. It sounds so cheesy, but it really does help a lot. We love you here. From Hoff Studios and executive producer Laura Lucetti, I am signing off, Daniella Rabbani, and we'll see you next week.